You got a pay rise this year and you probably spent it within a month. Now, I don't mean on bills and I don't mean on rent. I mean on things that you probably didn't even need 3 months ago. Yet at the end of every month, you are still telling yourself that you cannot afford to invest. So today we need to talk about why. Newsflash, it is not the cost of living that is keeping you broke. It's these 5 specific habits, and I'm willing to bet that you are doing at least 3 of them right now. And by the way, this is not me telling you to never go out, to never treat yourself, to never have fun. That's not what we're doing here. We know that balance is key. The purpose of this video is really just to paint the picture of what could be if we was to redirect a couple of these bad habits. And to be honest, the numbers are staggering. So let's get into it. Habit number 1, and this gets almost everyone, is lifestyle creep. Now, lifestyle creep is what happens when you get a pay rise or do some extra overtime or earn a little more commission. Essentially, you earn some extra money, and instead of thinking, great, now I can afford to invest even more, you think about which car you're going to upgrade to. You think about getting the nicer hotel on that next holiday, or maybe even upgrading the flat or the apartment so you've got a nicer place to live. Your income goes up, your spending goes up, but your investments or savings stay exactly the same. I see this all of the time in my bank statement breakdown videos. People earning 40, 50,000 pounds a year, earning good money, and their savings are basically non-existent because every time they get a raise, their lifestyle raises with it. However, the fix to this is really simple. Every time your income goes up or you earn some extra money for that month, half of it goes straight into investments or savings. You get an extra £200, 100 of it goes straight into investments. You pretend that you never even had it. It's so important to pay yourself first. Habit number 2, and I rarely go through a bank statement breakdown video without finding at least one of these, and it is unused subscriptions. We're not really talking about Netflix or Spotify or anything like that. It's usually the gym membership where you haven't actually been to the gym since before Christmas. Or it could be the app that you downloaded with a free trial, you completely forgot about it, and now it's going out every single month without you even realizing it. I hate to break it to you, but that free trial stopped about 6 months ago. Individually, none of these really seem like much of a big deal. It's a £5 here, a £10 there, but it does add up. We're often looking at around £30 to £60 of money going out for absolutely no reason. So do this today. Go through your bank statements, find every single direct debit that is still going out. If you can't remember the last time that you used it, or you don't even know what it's for, then cancel it. And by the way, if you want me to go through your bank statement and give you some help here to find some extra cash so you can start investing, feel free to check out the Google form down below in the description so we can take a look. Your details may feature on a future video, but don't worry, they will be completely anonymous. Habit number 3 is financing depreciating assets. And yes, I'm talking about cars. Brand new cars lose roughly around 15 to 20% of their value the moment they drive off the forecourt. And yet the amount of people sitting on a PCP deal paying roughly around £350 to £400 per month for an asset that is completely depreciating is often very painful to look at. Now, I'm not saying don't have a car. Of course you need a car, and we talked all about this in a recent video. I'm saying stop financing a brand new one to impress people online that you don't even know. We ran the numbers, and the average car payment in the UK is a lost opportunity for most people of around £500,000. Switching up the finance for a used car is one of the biggest single changes that you can make that is going to have such a big impact. Moving on to habit number 4, and this is buy now, pay later. The likes of Klarna and ClearPay can be very handy tools if you use them correctly. But most people don't. Most people simply abuse them. What do I mean by this? Well, it's mostly when people buy things on Klarna because they can't afford them. And guess what? If you can't afford them, you shouldn't have them. Save up and get them at a later date. The sneaky thing about this is that it doesn't really feel like debt because it's interest free. It feels like free, easy payments over the next 3 months, but when a few of them start to rack up with a credit card here and a personal loan here, things start to get much more difficult. And because it feels free for the time being at least, a lot of people buy things that they don't actually want when they really think about it. If you were handing over the cash right then in that moment, would you still buy it? That is the question that you have to ask yourself most of the time. time when purchasing something like this? Because a lot of the time I can imagine that the answer is no. And then finally, habit number 5 is the social spending. We're talking about the keeping up with the Joneses. Like we just mentioned, buying stuff to impress people on Instagram that we don't even know. Getting a round-in at the bar that you can't really afford but you can't really get out of. Concerts or festivals that you're going to because everybody else is going and you can't miss out. Or clothes for your holiday that cost more than the holiday itself. Now, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, this doesn't mean that you cannot do any of these things. But balance is key, and doing the things that you can afford makes a lot more sense in the long run. Sometimes you've just got to prioritize these things. Sometimes you've got to be a little more frugal or sit this next thing out. It doesn't mean sit absolutely everything out and have no social life. Next time you're spending on something like this, just ask yourself this question. Am I doing this because I really want to, or am I doing this because I feel like I should? There's a big difference. All right, so now we need to run the numbers, and this is where things get pretty staggering. Let's say conservatively that addressing these 5 habits totals up to around £400 per month. And it may sound like a lot, but trust me, when we run through these bank statement breakdowns, this is definitely on the lower end. £400 a month invested into something like the S&P 500, which historically returns approximately 10% per year, invested over 10 years would be around £80,000. 20 years, £290,000, and 30 years, 830k. And you'll notice that it doesn't just double, it does a lot more, and that is the compounding effect in full force. Think of it like you're pushing that snowball down the hill. Once it starts to pick up momentum, things can really spiral out of control. And even if it's not £400 for you, there's still a decent chance that you can get a nice little pot going. Now, the good thing about this is that none of it requires a lottery win. It more so requires a bit of balance, consistency, and discipline. You don't need to make any crazy decisions today, but you do need to start looking at the small changes that you can make that can start compounding into something very real in the future. Now, of course, if you did enjoy this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. But just a few days ago, I dropped a bank statement breakdown for Sophie. She was doing a great job of living to her means. She had cheap rent, she had an affordable car, which she felt gave her the license to start spending more money on stuff that really wasn't necessary. If you want to check that one out, the link will be on the screen somewhere now.